Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. I am your host, Davin James. Hope you all do well, hope you're on a good day so far. If you are new here, please remember to like, subscribe and comment and hit the bell for notifications, that's the most important part. That way you don't miss any future notification from my channel. So, one way, shape or form, we are all familiar with the serial killer named Jeffrey Dahmer. Whether it be through the Netflix series that came out sometime during the pandemic, I think it was, or whether it be through like other sorts of entertainment, or maybe just real life itself. Well, recently I discovered an interview his father gave. I don't know when this interview took place, it doesn't really clarify as to when. I guarantee it's probably like an old interview. But in this interview, Jeffrey Dahmer's father, who aroused his mother, wasn't exactly there for Jeffrey as a young boy. Well, in his interview, he talks about what he feels like created this evilness within inside Jeffrey Dahmer, and what the actual cause of it was. And we all know that his mother was heavily medicated during the pregnancy of Jeffrey Dahmer. And he goes on to speculate in this interview whether or not that had anything to do with the fact that came out to be this awful human being who killed and tortured and did horrible things to a lot of people. Some including adults, some including young children. But with that being said, today's episode, shall we? Jeffrey Dahmer's dad had a theory on what was to blame for his son becoming a serial killer. Lionel Dahmer, who died last year at the age of 87, spoke about his son's horrendous crimes and what he thought could have led to him becoming one of the world's most notorious killers. Dahmer's story was documented in the Netflix drama Monster: The Jeffrey Dahmer Story, in which Lionel was played by Richard Jenkins. The series followed Dahmer from a young age, showing how he grew into the violent murderer that he did. He killed 17 men and boys during a murder spree that lasted from 1978 until his arrest in 1991. He dismembered his victims, with one of them only being 14 years old, and also committed necrophilia, cannibalism and kept trophies of his victims. In this series, Lionel Richard Jenkins offers an explanation as to why Dahmer went on to commit such horrific crimes. He suggested there could have been a link between the medication his wife Joyce was taking before Dahmer was born and also his crimes, though none of this has ever been confirmed. That is a popular theory. I have watched the Jeffrey Dahmer series, and that was a popular theory. Let me know your thoughts, whether you think there's any truth to that, because it could very well be. A lot of times mothers are being told to stay away from certain things, because it could affect the baby. That's public knowledge. And medication, and the fact that his wife was taking so many different medications, that possibly could have fucked up Jeffrey Dahmer mentally in some ways. But let me know your thoughts on that. Lionel says, you do know that pills are starting this whole thing. Or what started this whole thing. How many pills do you think she was on when she was pregnant with him? Thousands. She was on sleeping pills, sedatives, seizure medication. It's amazing how the baby even survived inside her room. Like, all these different medications, like, what the fuck? Like, don't get me wrong, there's obviously reasons for it, the prescription medication. But the fact that baby, Jeffrey Dahmer, even survived being inside her for all that time, is even a miracle. In some ways. Not condoning anything he did. Not at all. He added, she never even held him. She scared the shit out of him. And then she just left. She got in the car and drove away. And then she left that kid in our house all summer. So abandonment issues also come into a factor, by the sounds of things. Lionel also made these allegations in real life too, during an interview with CBS Inside Edition. My ex-wife had been taking about 26 tablets of different medications about 1 month after becoming pregnant, he said. In a TV special called Dahmer on Dahmer, He and his second wife, Shari, also openly spoke about Joyce's abilities as a mother. They claimed she wasn't very tactical and would rarely touch or hold him. When Jeff was born, the grandparents were not allowed to hold the baby, Shari said. Joyce didn't want anyone touching the baby or even breathing on it. She was afraid of germs. In 1994, a book by Jeffrey Dahmer's dad, A Father's Story, Lionel not only spoke about the prescription drugs Joyce was taking, he also pondered whether or not his son's shyness could have been a red flag at the time. And that's a hidden thing right there. Shyness. Most of us are quite shy and awkward people for the most part, myself included. And a lot of people just overlook it, like, oh, he's shy, he's just socially awkward a little bit, he's harmless, he's a good kid. But then deep down, it's actually something more inside of a person than just that. And it's interesting how that can be overlooked sometimes. According to reports, he blames himself for not giving enough to Jeffrey emotionally. That would do it as well, yep. As scientists, I wonder if the potential for great evil resides deep in the blood that some of us may pass on to our children. First off, I just want to say that the Jeffrey Dahmer Netflix series was a really great insight into the person of Jeffrey Dahmer. All the performances were great, including the actor who played Jeffrey Dahmer, who I believe was Evan Peters. He's one of those actors where I always forget his name for the most part, but I remember the stuff he's been in, such as like American Horror Story, so the X-Men Marvel movies, so on and so forth. A really great, talented actor. And, whether some of these series, and I'm not one of those people like really knows whether or not everything in that show was accurate in terms of Jeffrey Dahmer, his victims, and some of the relationships with some of these people that he meets in the series. But all in all, I think everyone did a fantastic job on that show, and I'm sure that in terms of true crime nuts, such as myself, it really gave us something to really enjoy, if you will. As sick as that sounds. But like I said, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you think there's any truth to what Jeffrey Dahmer's dad is saying about, what could have inspired Jeffrey Dahmer to be the person that he became? Was it his awkward shyness? Was it his issues with his mother? His mother not being there for him, abandoning him, and his dad not really being available to him mostly because he's more interested in his work. So a lot of different things to play into factor with this situation. But let me know your thoughts. And until next time, take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye for now.